Today we are going to be talking about something very interesting, and that is often sidelined. We are talking about lack of strategy. Have you ever wondered why the day you walk in the holiest footsteps, like you are holier than thou on that day, is generally on Sunday after church? Who can agree with me on this? Once you leave church, your mind, your heart, your spirit is in the right place. You realize that if someone insults you, you're more prone to forgive. Somebody annoys you, you're like, God bless you, it is well with you. You're filled with the Spirit. Have you ever wondered why? And how you can use that to your advantage? The Bible says that if we walk by the Spirit, we will not fulfill the desires of the flesh. So if you fill yourself with the Spirit, right? If you fill yourself with the Spirit, there will be little or no room for any other thing. You will be annoyed by evil. How can we use our understanding of this to our advantage? Number one, the order in which you fill yourself. Fill up early. Fill up first before any other thing. Charge yourself up in the morning. Early may be different for you. Early for someone is 5 o'clock. Early for someone is 7 o'clock. But before you do anything for the day, charge up. Charge up. Gather and build momentum. Fill up early. You may go about your day being distracted. You will see that you will naturally resist the things that are unhealthy for you. Why? Because you're full. The Spirit in you will shun evil. Because you're full, you realize that it's difficult for you to watch some certain things, even scrolling down through your phone, when you see illicit videos and stuff. You will not be enticed by them. You will easily scroll past them because you've already charged yourself in the Spirit. What has happened is that you are full. You are full with the Spirit. So there's no space. There's no space to contain evil. Just for the singular act that you ordered your day by starting to charge yourself in prayer and the word. Number two, estimate the time between your fill and your need for refill. For example, I'm using church as our reference point here because I believe that if you go to a Bible-believing church, by the time you're leaving church on Sunday, you're fully charged. So try to estimate the time from which you leave church to the time when you lost consciousness of God's presence. Because the moment you leave church, you are so careful. You're so careful of what you say. You're so careful of what you watch, of what you think. You're so careful because of the presence of God. So the moment you try to estimate the time that it takes for you to lose consciousness of this of the presence of God around you, to start now just speaking anyhow, throwing careless words, cursing, doubting, and all the like. Try to estimate that time, and that is the time that I will call your prayer interval or your feeding interval. That's the time that you need the next meal. So for some people, you've often asked yourself the question, how many times is it necessary for me to eat a day? Right? Now, I'm not saying that prayer, you can be saturated by prayer or the word. You can eat as much as you can. You can pray as much as you can. But what I'm talking about here is the what is necessary for you to survive. How to be able to filter, practically know what is necessary for you to survive, to live a victorious life within the day. So if you're someone who is not able to who has not yet harnessed the skill to maintain that consciousness of God's presence and walking in His will throughout the day, try to estimate the time that it takes for you from the moment you receive a word or from the moment you leave the place of prayer to the time when you begin to speak carelessly, to the time when you begin to see that it's like what you carried has been diluted. Try to estimate that time. That is your window. That is the window with which you have to calculate the next time that you have to pray. So for some people, they may pray 5 times a day. For some people, it's going to be 10 times. For some people, it's going to be as many as every 30 minutes and all that requires is that within this time interval, you're able to remind yourself of what you studied last or pray about what you prayed last. So for example, if you woke up in the morning and you studied about the parable of the sower. So after an hour, you realize that you started doing things that are distracting, you can then try to say, what did I study in the morning? Ask yourself that question. So you're reminding yourself of what you studied in the morning. What was the highlight of what I studied in the morning? So you say, oh, the highlight of what I studied in the morning is that some of the seeds or that were planted were probably eaten by distraction. So, oh, I shouldn't be distracted. Oh, I should focus. And then that reminder is going to again create that presence, that consciousness of God's presence, and you can move again to the next hour continually within the day. So understanding yourself, defining a strategy is going to help you in your Christian walk to grow. Jesus Christ had a strategy, so why don't you have one? Jesus Christ will often seclude himself from the crowd because it was not yet time for him to be known as the Messiah. He will often go to places where he could be alone to pray. The Bible says in the book of Mark 1 verse 35 that he will crawl out in the morning, the early hours of the morning, to go and pray. So why don't you have a strategy? Why are you on this battlefield without a strategy? You cannot grow without a strategy.